What's good? What's good? Had to do it. Hey, are y'all ready? What's good? What's good? Had to do it, nation. How y'all doing? It is your girl Dre Nicole, and as per usual, I'm here on BFAM 109.6. I'm in on your phones and YouTube every Friday from 9 to 10 p.m. What's goody? What's goody? What's good? So today I do not have a guest. So me and DC, we just gonna talk our shit about different topics. So I hope y'all with it because we already kind of started before we went live. But hey, first I want to say I had a very busy week, but a great week. Um, I started doing rehearsals in a play called "Left Me Standing at the Altar." Anybody who knew of me last year knew that I did the play last year, and they called me back to reprise my role as the bride's mother, Miss Sandra. I'm Miss Sandra, y'all. So we resumed rehearsals for that, and yesterday I was at the Live with Carisha show with Finesse two times and the R&B singer Sammy. Awesome, awesome interviews. I got to see them interview. They played my music during during the production and everything. I got interviewed on the Coliseum. Um, yeah, and with Atlanta Beats magazine. So shout out to Atlanta Beats magazine for always looking out for a girl. Shout out to the folks over at the Coliseum. It's a platform that has different podcasts on one platform. It's an app, and that is the second podcast that I got interviewed on. So shout out to them. Shout out to Carisha the Diva, Mano, um, Crystal Alucci, Amir. They always show love, always reaching out to me. I love them. They love me. It's a great thing, great, great, great thing. And I'm so proud of everything that they are doing over there at the Live and Carisha show. So, as far as things coming up, this week I'm taking a little chill pill because DC, your boy, is coming from South Carolina this week. So I'm gonna be hanging out with him. I'm going to get him on Monday, and we just gonna hang out and chill for the week. And child, this boy is trying
Shout out
to
to Big Craig.
Craig, Kev, Kev, DC, don't forget your name. But yeah, so we're gonna be hanging out this week. So I'm gonna take a chill pill, hang out with my baby. But yeah, so we kind of got into a topic which wasn't supposed to be the topic for tonight. The topic for tonight was the topic that I had posted in the group and on the Had to Do a Podcast page and on my page. Oh my gosh, people was going in, going in. So let's tackle that one first, and then we'll go to the other one. Is that cool, DC?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm always scrolling through social media and this and the other, and looking at different things, and this came across my social media. Wait, I hope this is the right one. Okay.
lot of people have children. They'll be parents or grandparents and they have to take care of. A lot of people are in disability. A lot of people are preparing to have a family. A lot of people are probably on the verge of an eviction notice or homelessness. So the same respect and loyalty that you want me to give your brand, I need to feel that. And if not, we all gonna get the same immediate notice that you can give me. I hope that reaches every HR office globally. Don't believe in the home 2 week notice thing.
So if you didn't catch what she said that she don't believe in giving a job a 2 week notice because if they were to fire her, they will fire her immediately. They will not give her time to figure out her life, just like how they would want you to give time for them to figure out their situation if you was to leave the job. What do you think about this, DC?
Now, I grew up in a different era where if you didn't give a 2 week notice, it went against your resume. People don't really use resumes now anymore. So
Mm.
it's it, it's different. Like, and on top of that, we live in Georgia, which for those that don't listen out of Georgia, Georgia is a fire and hire at will, which means I don't have to have a reason to fire you as a boss. I just might not like you today. Bye.
Ooh.
So there's a lot of rules here that are different. How do you feel about it?
I think it really depends on the your relationship with the job, right? So if you're there and you're undervalued and they're like they take advantage of you as a worker or disrespect you as a worker, because there's jobs out there that some of these managers and stuff like that is very disrespectful. I might not think twice of piecing out on you, but gotta go. And I'm not coming in to give my 2 week notice. You're gonna get this email. You're gonna catch this work in this email, and I'm gonna go ahead about my business. But if it's a job where sometimes it's not about caring about the management. Sometimes it's about your coworkers that you work with, and you don't want to leave them stuck with a lot of stuff. Like before I quit, I'm already setting my stuff up. If I have it in my mind that I'm gonna quit.
Facts.
So I'm setting my work up and everything before I even say anything to anybody, so that by the time I say something, all my everything is in place
Hmm.
for my departure.
All right, let's look
You
at some of
know,
your comments here. Jess Blaze said, "Hell of a double standard. I never agreed. I legit clocked out and said peace and left them all like later."
shout out to Just Blaze back in
Re-
NYC.
Reppin' Vibes said, "Well, hello, Nikki. My opinion on the topic is your next job is a career. They're going to do a background of your personality and are you easy to work with? So yeah, out of courtesy, you want to show professionalism. So let's just take those two right there for a minute. Those are exact opposites. One guy says you got to think about your next job. The other one says deuces. I'm out of here. My career. I'm who I am. I don't need your resume.
Right. Well, I mean, there's you you do not necessarily have to I'm putting myself out there. You do not necessarily have to put your manager on that
Facts.
reference. So
I'm
if
gonna
you
let
got
you
people
know.
at that job,
Yeah,
right?
facts.
I mean, like, yo, I put you on the reference for such and such
There it
job.
is, right
You know
there.
what I'm saying? It may be somebody else that you worked with at the job. You know what I mean? Not necessarily your immediate manager. Because, like, for me, the job that I had in New York before I came to Georgia, me and that manager, like, I didn't fucks with her. I really didn't. I didn't fucks with her at all. And so I would never put her name on anything because I don't know what she's gonna do. She's one of those people that in your face she try to make nicey nicey, and then behind your back she's doing something else.
Facts.
So I would never put her on as a reference. But I was at that job for 11 years. I held a few positions. You know, I moved up while I was there. So I put the manager that I had before her.
Thanks.
You know how I work. You
I
work in the
know.
same place. And even when I moved to the other position, we were still in the same department. It's just that I went from benefits to recruitment. So she
Thanks.
still saw my work and my work ethic. So she was able to speak on it.
Just being honest, I mean, I own a couple businesses, so I've had plenty of friends ask for references that have never worked for me, ever, just because of who I am. And they know that when I
Hmm.
call, and I'm just telling you, these businesses call, some of these businesses, when they call for a reference, Dre, I'm going to be honest with you. A girl like you will call, and I'll go, hello. And they'll go, do you know so and so? And I'm like, yeah. They good people? I mean, what at this
Right.
point,
They not even
right?
introducing themselves or whatever. You don't even know who you speaking to, what you speaking to them for.
It's just in the South, they just people talk different. They expect you like I wasn't given a business reference at all. They just wanted to know if that person's good people. I go, yeah, they're good people. So they're eligible for rehire? And I was like, yeah. They go, thank you very much, Mr. Clark. I don't even know what I just did. I
Right.
could have got somebody a job I don't know. The reference call is not
Right.
that necessary, right?
Right. And it's not as deep as people like to think. It really is not as deep as people like to think it is.
So
And I've
Patricia
worked in
Binyard
HR.
says, let me ask you this part. Patricia Binyard says it depends on the reason you're leaving the job.
Yeah. Okay. And I believe she means like if you leaving the job because it's a hostile environment and it's a disgruntled thing,
Ooh,
then
I like it. Okay. And she said
you know what I'm
sometimes you
saying?
don't have time to give 2 weeks. I get that. That's totally true. Could you tell
That
that
part,
guy?
because if you going into another position, they may need you immediately.
Let's do
And
this part.
I'm not ruining my next thing
Let's
to
go
stay with
this
you
way.
because if y'all was so great, I wouldn't be looking for the next thing.
Let's say that you're in a relationship and it's a little bit abusive and you got to go. You got to get your
Hmm.
kid, pick him up, and you got to go. Can you go into your boss and say, look, I'm just letting you know I got to go. Please don't give me a bad reference, but I can't give you 2 weeks, but I got to go.
I wouldn't even worry about don't give me a bad reference. I wouldn't even go through all that. Y'all gonna catch this phone call. I'm sorry that I have to do things this way. I have personal reasons, but I will not be back there. Thank you for the opportunity. And that's it. They ain't got to know all those details. They no longer my employer at that point. They ain't
So
got to
you
know
would
all the
so
details
you wouldn't
or
apologize at
whatever.
all. You wouldn't even apologize for not giving 2 weeks.
I did apologize, like sorry I have to do things this way, but I
Okay.
have personal reasons and I have to go. I will not be back. Good life.
Don Riviera says I try and give the courtesy of giving 2 weeks notice, but it doesn't always work like that.
Facts.
Nick Nikki Owens says that's a good question. I probably give 2 weeks notice. Angie Duffy Hernandez says I want to say give 2 weeks notice, but thinking back, I don't think I ever did. That's real. I like Angie already.
That's real. Like I like
Uh,
to say good things, but I don't think I ever did.
and speaking of being real, Bella Dana says I walked out on break and never came back. Just saying. Sorry, not
Shout
sorry.
out, shout out to Dana. Let me tell you something about that girl. Me and her have been friends since I think junior high school. And
That's awesome.
she is a complete trip. She is a complete trip, and I freaking love her. What? Shout out to Dana. Shout
And
out to Dana.
your last comment says I Green says I never do. Depending how I feel about the
Ooh.
situation, I might finish the week. And there you
That's
have
A
it.
Money Green. That's A Money Green.
Oh, A Money Green. Okay, yeah, okay. So he says so to him, like if it depends on the situation. If I don't like the situation, I might not finish the week.
Right,
I
right. I
kind of like
mean,
to. Do you kind of like to finish the week? Can you go through any situation, just finish the week so you get that full paycheck?
I've done that. See,
Mhm.
sometimes I've already quit in my head
Yeah,
before I said anything to
yeah.
anybody. So I might plan out my PTOs because I don't want to fight with y'all to pay me out my PTO. So I
Facts. I've
might
done that
plan
too.
out my PTO, take my time. You know what I'm saying? Take my sick days because they
Yeah.
don't pay you out the sick days. They might pay you out the PTO. They don't pay you out the sick days. So all of a sudden, you know, I'm about to get sick and I'm about to get these days. Like I already quit. They just don't know that I quit. I
I
don't
wonder
know.
why
That's
they don't
called
notice
silent
that.
quitting.
Silent quitting.
They call it silent quitting. Yeah, I already quit. You just ain't up on it yet.
Let's
You
put
just
that
ain't
out
up
there.
on it yet.
Let's put that out there underneath the game here. Let's put out what is it called when you stay at work when you know you're leaving? You're just trying to get them PTOs. You're trying to get everything square so you can leave, so you ain't got to fight with them about what they owe. You just leave. What's that? What's
Right.
that period of work called?
I think it's called silent quitting.
I like it. I like
I think
silent
that's
quitting a
I
lot.
think that's what they call it now. Silent quitting.
I'm gonna try to Google that while you're talking.
So on Instagram, we got some feedback on Instagram. Instagram is ruthless. So Selvin Hicks, Selvin promoter, he was one of the guests on the show.
I
He
remember him.
said, "Fuck no." He said, "Fuck no. I'm out. Make the necessary arrangements."
Just hitting one of our favorite dreaded quotes, motherfucker, I'm out. It's actually called silent quitting is actually called quiet quitting.
Quiet quitting.
It's called
There
quiet
you
quitting.
go.
Quiet quitting is when employees are trying to pick up on PTO days. It says it right there. Maybe cashing in on cards, balances, company cards. Y'all a bunch of man.
Yep. I'm gonna get all my stuff, all my ducks in a row. Anybody that's under me, any of my subordinates, if I'm in charge of anybody, I'm setting them up so that they be all right and be like, look,
Ooh.
you do this, you do the because I don't know who they gonna get in here. Cause see that 2 week notice thing, you want me to train somebody that you about to pull up in here and you about to pay them more. And I've been trying to get a raise and this, that, and the other, and I've been working hard and you don't appreciate it. You gonna get somebody off the street, pay them more money, and then expect me to train them. If I could train them, then you could have paid me. But being that you don't want to do that,
That's what
gotta
a lot
go.
of people say. A lot of people say, I'm not going to give a 2 week notice because they know that that means their job is going to become a training job. And then they get extremely jealous when they train somebody and that person just does a little better or they're a little younger, a little better looking, whatever it is, and they get more money. Like, what a slap in the
That'd be
face.
my thing.
Yeah.
They won't jobs they won't promote within because that was the issue with my last job in New York. Like I was like I've been here for 11 years. Y'all come to me for everything. Y'all come to me for everything. I have put systems in place. I have um, created positions, came up with ideas for positions, put in for the position, and you gave it to somebody who was an intern. Like where they do that at. And then, but every time somebody quits in another department, you want me to take over their duties, but you don't want to pay me more.
So let me ask
So
you what you
you
do
don't
here.
want to pay me, huh?
Go ahead. Keep going.
So like if you don't want to pay me more, I gotta go. I gotta go somewhere where I'm gonna be a little more appreciated. And actually, when I left that job to start my own business in the middle of the quarantine, and it was successful in the middle of the quarantine. It paid the bills while I was in quarantine, so
Facts. So you made the right move.
I
All
made
right.
the right
So
move.
let's say you're in a business and you're in the process of silent quitting.
Hmm.
You got another job lined up. It's 3 months down the road. And at the new job, there's 4 or 5 positions. And you're doing a little recruiting inside the current company where you're silent quitting. And you'll go to one of your employees because you want to take them with you. And they snitch you out.
Oh,
What do you do? They go to the boss and they say, hey, by the way, I just want to let you know, Drea's fitting to leave in 3 months and she's not giving me no 2 weeks notice. She's silent quitting right now. She's trying to get me to go. What do
well,
you
then
do?
that goes back to I'm old school. Like you can't tell everybody everything. No, nobody on your job is your friend.
That's a fact.
Nobody on your job is your friend. I had people on my old job I did genuinely care for, but that still don't mean that they get to know everything. If what I did didn't directly affect you in your position, then you wouldn't know that I'm leaving until I left. And then we'll talk about it later. If we was that close where you have my phone number, we'll talk about it later. But I'm not telling nobody nothing beforehand just because I don't want to be snitched out. You just don't know who is who. But if that were to happen, I mean, it is what it is. If you get approached by your bosom, yeah, I'm quitting. And I was going to take this person with me, but since I got snitched out, y'all can keep them. Whether I'm
So
quitting
do
tomorrow,
you stop
tomorrow
then?
done turned into today. Like,
Right. So at that point, you
okay,
just quit now, right? You just the silent quitting
yeah,
stop.
like,
Yeah.
okay, tomorrow turned into today.
Yeah.
Bye. Well, I don't like what my old job used to do is they would have like security come and escort you when they let you
Yeah.
go.
It's
And
embarrassing.
it's embarrassing. They did that to this one girl, little meek girl. Like she didn't do nothing crazy. She just wasn't good at her job. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? She just really wasn't good at her job. It wasn't the job for her. But she was meek, she was mild, she wasn't a rowdy, turn up type person. And they had security standing at her desk like she was about to blow the place up or something.
Mhm.
Like you don't have to get security. HR, you that about it. You stand there while she collect her stuff. But sitting there and have security like she's being. People thought she was getting arrested.
You know why they do that? It's because they know that they've done you wrong. They know you're going to react. If they send security to usher you out, it's because one, you're not expecting it, and two, when you find out, you're gonna, they already know they're doing you dirty. That's why security's there and they're not.
Right. And what's with the you have me come all the way to work knowing that you're going to fire me.
Yeah, I don't
You have
understand
my
that.
number. You got my number in my email. You have my number in my email when you was trying to call me on my vacation or call me on my time off or whatever. You have my number and stuff then.
Hmm.
I'll get somebody at the job to get my stuff out of the desk. I don't keep that much shit in the desk anyway. Not that much personal stuff that I have to have.
I had a guy once tell me that it was best for the company that they did that face to face, and I said, "Are you looking for a
Why?
reaction?" And he goes, "Well, that's how we base our reference when the companies call." I'm like, wait a minute, whoa, whoa, whoa. You're telling me that you guys are moving on from me. You're calling me into the office when I think I'm coming to work. You're looking for my reaction. And because of my reaction, that's what you're going to tell people about me when they call instead of everything I've done for you. Hey, give them this back.
Right.
You know, I'm out of here.
Right.
And then you
And
take the
that's
company gas card,
crazy.
you go fill up your personal gas card, and you leave. Yeah, you leave the gas card
And
at the gas
that's
company. That's what I would do.
crazy.
Yeah,
And that's crazy. And I understand, like, if you're in a position where you might have keys to the office and this and that, change the lock. Change
yeah,
the lock.
no, yeah. I don't understand calling someone in to fire them face to face. That doesn't sound like a job I want to do at all.
Right.
Especially with
Right.
today's technology. Hey, hey, Drea, I need to see you at 8 o'clock for a Zoom meeting. That's my face to face. Yo, Drea, been real, girl. We got to separate.
Right. Right.
What are you gonna
Shoot,
do
I
now?
quit on Zoom. I
Okay, there
quit
you
on
go.
Zoom.
Okay, cool.
Gave my
Zip.
2 weeks notice on Zoom. It is what it is.
Mhm. Companies
It
just
is
don't
what it
value
is.
their employees anymore. There's too many of us out there.
They don't.
Hmm.
They don't. They really, really don't. And I don't know. I just wish they would get with it a little bit more because they lose great people. Because right now, the person at my old job in New York, the person that they have in my position, she's nicknamed because they call me Nikki. She's nicknamed Bizarro Nikki.
Oh,
Like she's like Nikki from another universe.
she's living in your shadow forever. That's awesome.
They call her Bizarro Nikki. Yeah, I use the complete like. And then the crazy thing is, my manager lived down the block from me because
Oh,
I did her onboarding documents.
well,
Like I was in
your
HR, I did her
actual
on
manager, that your boss would live down the road from you.
the one
How,
that I had an issue with.
how did that work out? I mean, does that ever go to the neighborhood?
Man, listen,
Like you gotta drive by, just give
yo,
you some dirty looks and shit.
when I would go home and tell my kids the stuff that she would do, they'd be like, "Yo, we'll just catch her and stop and shop." She don't know what we look like.
Oh my god.
If I was that type of person, like she could have got. But I was like, no, like it ain't that serious.
Poor
Not over
woman.
this job. I was like, it ain't that serious. Not over this job.
That's
But that goes to show you, like, you need to be mindful of how you treat people.
facts.
Because I did her onboarding documents. I knew exactly where she lived. She didn't know where I lived.
Oh man, I don't even.
I mean,
I'm
like,
just saying. I don't think I've ever lived
I
near a
was in
boss
this
where it's
company
like, well,
before you. I was in this
yeah.
company before you. I did all your benefits paperwork. Know
I don't
exactly
want
where you live.
to. I just don't want to mess up with that person. Like the person that's messing with my check, benefits, awards. Yeah, you getting all the notice you need, girl. What you got? You want some flowers, donuts? What you need? Yeah. Don't mess up the paycheck.
It was crazy. It was crazy. Like the stuff that she would do. Like I think I told this story before, but when my best friend passed away, she passed away on a Sunday. That Thursday and Friday, I had already had off a vacation because me and the same friend that passed away was supposed to be coming to Atlanta for an event.
Mm.
And so I called out on Monday, I called out on Tuesday, and I called out on Wednesday. Right?
Yeah, that's probably getting a red flag with me.
Like I called out Monday and I let them know. I was like, my friend passed away. I would not be here. I'm helping her mom. Her mom is bedridden. Her kids, they were no good to try to do any of the arrangements or anything like that. So I was helping her sister. Like this is my best friend of 30 something years. Right? So the week goes by. I go back to work on Monday and the said manager calls me into her office.
Mm.
So I go into her office and she was like, you know, you called out after a weekend and before scheduled time off. I could write you up for that.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
And I was like, well, the next time somebody dies, I'll tell them to do it on your schedule.
Ugh.
And by the way, I'm not gonna. And then I hit her with a. By the way, I'm not gonna be here tomorrow or Wednesday because the funeral is tomorrow and Wednesday's the burial, and I'm absolutely going. Thank you.
Mm.
And I walked out of her office. Do what you feel like you're gonna do. It ain't gonna change what's gonna happen.
Wow. I'd have been just sitting there like this.
I just looked at her like I really wanted to climb over that table. Like I really wanted to climb over that desk. I was like, nope, that's definitely not a good look.
No, no, that's a bad look. That's a bad look.
That's definitely not a good look. So, and then from that point, I started quietly quitting Cause like if I have to worry about taking time off because a loved one passed away, it's a problem. And it's not a problem with me. It's a problem with you.
What would you do if you found what do bosses do? What do like what if BFAM's done? That's never gonna happen, but let's just what if I wanted to quiet quit? I don't even know how I would do that. Like what do bosses do when they just don't want to do it no more? Like
They
let's say
just
you own your company and you got
uh-huh.
workers below you and you got shows like your BFAM. What would you just
Hmm.
wake up and you're just like I think I'm done. What would
Quiet
you do?
quitting, I think in that aspect would be like you would see if anybody want to purchase BFAM and take it over with all the
Facts,
shows.
facts,
You know,
facts.
you start reaching out to people and putting things in place
Yeah,
so that and that will determine the end conversation with the shows that's on BFAM. Like,
facts.
okay, you know, these investors they took over or whatever. I'm stepping back on my role of CEO and owner of BFAM. It's been real, but you could continue on with these people and you kind of like introduce them in or whatever. Or if you don't want to sell BFAM, you just want to get rid of it altogether. Be like, hey, BFAM about to be done. Y'all need to figure your
Nah,
stuff out.
nah, I can't do that. Shit, I don't
like
even know where
like
I come from.
we gonna ride out the rest of your time, but you know after that.
I'm already getting nervous just thinking about it. We're halfway. Let's change subjects. Fuck it. That was a dumb subject. Hey, I got in an accident today, so I might be on some medication and talk some stupid shit. I'm not
Oh
responsible
jeez.
for everything, so yeah, I'm feeling pretty
Oh
good right
jeez.
now.
And the medication that kicked in.
It's kicked in.
Okay,
I don't know if you can tell,
I'm
but
gonna read this.
kind of slouched
Mhm.
over my chair a little bit more now. All right.
I'm gonna read the rest of these comments because on Instagram, everybody's like, they not trying to hear it. Um, Kia, Kia Booking, she was also a
Oh
guest on
yeah,
the show.
great
She
girl.
said, "Nope, it's straight, it's straight up. Fuck them. You know,
Whoa,
I know. Hey sis,"
my
she said,
girl
"Straight up, fuck
Kia.
them." Um, I am Lady
Uh,
Night. She goes, facts. I never thought about it this way. If you plan on going back one day, I would say leave in good grace.
how about let's comment on that for a minute, okay? If you're getting ready to leave a job, is there any reason you'd go back to a job? I'm thinking about all the jobs I've had. I don't want to go back to any of them.
Right. Any of the
So why
jobs
do we
that I
care about
love,
a 2 week notice?
I'm not looking to go back.
So
I'm
what?
not
Yeah. So why
looking
don't we
to go
care about
back
going?
at
Why don't
all.
we give a 2 week notice? We're just going to walk into the next place and say this. Oh, by the way, like Drea asked me, do you have a good rapport with the last place? Oh hell no. I didn't even give them 2 weeks. It was that bad. Those people treated me so rough. We're not going to tell the truth,
Right.
regardless of what's happening. So why do we need to give a 2 weeks notice? I'm starting to fill this out a little more now.
Right.
If you're
Right.
not going
Well, I
back,
mean, sometimes you know that saying where they say the same people you see on the way up, you see you on the way down.
oh,
You may get into a desperate situation where you may have to go back. I
ooh,
don't know. I'm not doing it. Like the one time I tried to go back to a job, and it wasn't even that we left on bad terms or anything like that. It's just that I had moved to Philly. That's what it was. When I had moved to Philly, and when I came back to New York, yeah, I reached out to some of my old
I can
jobs that I
understand
had.
that. I can understand.
One of them did take me back. They didn't have no full time positions, but they took me back part time. And the other one, um, I they offered it to me, but I ended up not taking it because their whole benefits package that they used to have was non-existent anymore. Like they didn't even have benefits anymore. And I was like,
The place that took you
yeah,
back part time, they treat you any different on
no,
the second round? Okay, I just wondered that.
no. Mm-mm. They didn't treat me any different. So I held that job down, and my friend, the one that passed away, she worked in Coney Island Hospital emergency room, and she ended up getting me a part time job there. So I had the two
All
part
right.
time jobs when I first came back from Philly,
So
and it
work.
was fine. You know, I guess if you leave on good graces, if you leave a job on not on good terms, don't go back to that one. There's another one you can go back to. I'm quite
Right.
sure you have more than one job in
Right.
your business. Don't go back to that one.
I would say if you didn't leave a 2 week notice, don't go back to that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you stuck it to him on the way out the door, probably don't go back. Or call first and see if that guy's still there. Call the phone number. Yo, is Frank still working there? Nah, Frank passed away about 3 years ago. All right, cool. Then go down and get a job. Hey, I'm see if I get my old job back. Oh, you don't remember? Me and Frank used to be best friends. This is some good meds. I gotta write some of this shit down.
Yo, you and me be best friends. I'm weak. Oh my god.
Now, Dre, be honest. If you called a job, let's just say that you and Betty are not on good terms. You leave,
Hmm.
okay? You go to Philly, you come back, and you call. And you say, Betty's still there? And they go, nah, Betty passed away. When you go in there, do you not let them know you and Betty were best friends?
I
Betty
might
can't
would
defend herself.
say right.
I'm,
I might would
I'm
say we
riding
was
Betty,
best
Betty.
friends, but I wouldn't say we had any issues. Like, Betty, she was cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
me and Betty used to hang out all the time, man. I used to be everything. Me and Betty did everything together, man. Just give me Betty's job. She passed away.
Look,
That's sad.
it depends on who's interviewing me. Because if it's somebody that was there at the time, then they know me and Betty was not
See,
cool.
that's where it gets messed up. Then the interview turns you and
They
go,
know me and
oh,
Betty was not cool.
you were friends with Betty? Betty's my sister. Oh, fuck.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's bad. That's bad.
Like you got to be careful with that one. You got to definitely
See,
be careful with that one.
that's why they tell you not to take drugs and give you bad ideas. See how fast we snubbed that out? We snubbed that out fast because we good people. It still was a good idea for a
Oh,
while.
oh god, oh god.
Ooh, boy.
Okay, the last there's
So
two
yeah,
more comments on Instagram. It says it depends if I like the people or like my job when I was there. It depends on how they treated me, on which way I will decide to leave. If I know it's if I know it's the place I want to come back to, I will give 2 weeks notice. If it's some place that pissed me off and been mistreating me repeatedly, I don't give 2 weeks notice. And that's Miss Nina Williams.
shout out Nina. Good answer.
Right, right. And then the last one on Instagram from Tino Suave. Shout out to Tino Suave.
I
We did
like
a
that.
song together called Sugar. He said, "Fuck no, unless it's black owned business."
Shout out to Tino. Happy Juneteenth to you, my brother.
Shout out to Tino. He said, "Fuck no."
He a fool. I can tell you that already. I can see it now. He's fun to be around.
Yes, yes. Mia's backstory is so crazy. I think he found me on Instagram and he liked my voice and he was living in Florida and he came to New York just to record with me.
I got one with you. What would you do if you're moving up in a company and it's a black owned business? And when you get to the top, as you get closer and closer to the top, you find out that it's not. Do you keep it quiet?
Ah!
No, no, you're black now because people know in the radio they don't know Dre is black. She works her way up, and she thinks all this time she's working for a black-owned business. And you get up there, you know that upper echelon, you in that circle now, the big circle, and you find out it's not
Mm-hmm.
black. There's no black people in the upper circle. What do you do? And you're
Mm.
black. You're a black female. Do you tell, or do you get in that circle and just keep it quiet?
I get that circle and see how much of that circle I can take over to bring some people up. If I know some people that could do these positions, it depends on my position in that circle. Would I leave my
Would you
job?
let the but would you let the public know that it's not a black owned business? That's hard.
Not publicly. How about you? You know, friends and family. Be like,
Yes.
child, it's like I own
That's a
my
tough
business.
one. That's a tough
Child.
Imagine you invite your whole
The
family.
CEO, I understand they said that the CEO was Jerome Jenkins, but
Yeah.
Jerome is whiter than white.
Yeah. Yeah. That would I wonder if that's ever happened to anybody. Y'all right into the states. That's ever happened to you where thought you were working for a black owned business and you started working your way up and you found out it wasn't black owned? What'd you do? I don't think
Mm,
I really think that if I was black, I think I'd go ape shit. I really do. Just for wasting my life. Because if I worked there, I'm working there for a reason, right? What do
right,
you do?
but
What do
then
you do when
I
you
got
find out you're
and
not?
then I got to think about my bills. Maybe it's time to start quiet quitting.
Quiet quit. Sure, I'll join your circle.
Right, it might be time to start quiet quitting. Y'all lied about this. What else y'all lied about?
Yeah. Think how I can make
Mhm.
this company my company and make it black owned for real. I think I would sell.
Right.
I think I would, if I got to the top level and I'm in there with the bottom level of the big wigs. I think I'm selling out. I really do.
Mm.
If I found out at that level, I think I'm going down to the news and the bank first to get a loan so I can start the company over, and then I'm going to go to like Fox Five and I'm going to sell out.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. Saying,
He said, I'm telling everything.
yeah.
I'm telling everything.
Just imagine you worked like 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, and you finally make it to the top, and then you find out that the company's not not the morals of the company are not the morals of the company.
Oh, that's most places.
You think?
That's most places.
You think?
Most
Not
big companies, they say it's just like most of them. They say that they here for this. They're not. They're not.
not at B fam. We're
It,
stuck
it,
now.
it's just like, yeah. I mean, smaller businesses,
Yeah.
yeah, but like big businesses, they're not
Okay.
about what they say they about.
Okay.
Look at our government. Our government is not about what they say they about.
Oh.
Our medical system is not about what they say they about. So for me to have faith in a regular business, I'm sorry, I don't.
What do you think about Joe Biden making that statement that if you don't vote for him, that you don't have pride in your blackness? He said, "You know, Joe Biden stands for black people. If you don't fight for me, you don't stand for black people." What the hell's Joe doing, man?
Joe Biden don't give a shit about me. Biden don't give a
Nobody
shit
up in
about
those
me.
cities.
Trump don't give a shit about me. Let me tell you,
Ain't nobody in that booth gonna give a shit about it but us.
ain't, ain't none of them give a shit about me.
I'm still waiting for my white kickback.
Right. Man, if I waited, if I held my breath to wait for a president to actually give a shit about what bothers me on a day to day basis, I'd turn blue and die.
Hey, remember what? Do you remember what your faith was in government before Obama came in? Did you like believe he was going to change it before he got there? I know once he
No.
got there, everybody kind of lost faith quick. But did you think
Hmm.
that was a chance that something was going to happen?
No. Only because this is America, and that I don't care what nobody say. Yeah, they let him get into office, but this is a black man in America. He is going to be fought on every stance. everything that he tried to do, there's gonna be pushback unless they figure out a way where they could, fuck up his reputation with it.
Yeah.
So no, I was just hyped that they let it get that far to the point. I guess they had no choice because people did show up and show out. So I was just hyped that it got to the point where he got there. But I knew it was going to be a fight. That man had all black hair when he went in.
Yeah.
8 years later, he was completely gray. They gave that
It
man
was
a run
fashioned in
for his
gray.
money.
Yeah.
And anybody who was delulu enough to think that all of a sudden things was going to change. He is one man. There is the House of Representatives, there's Congress, there's all these other avenues that he has to get through that is completely lily white and with those old beliefs. So you really think that he was going to get in there and change the world one man?
Hmm. I'm
No,
with you. I'm with you.
no. I was just hyped to see a black president in my lifetime because I grew up with movies that made spoofs about having a black president, but I never thought that I would see it in my life. I never thought
Oh,
that I would see
I
it in my
remember some
life.
of those movies.
Yes, and the fact that I got to see it, it gave me hope that maybe the more of us will get involved in politics to kind of inflict change, so that if we do get a black president again, he is not the only one up there.
Hmm.
Get more of us in there. That's what I was hoping for. That it incite change in our community to get more involved, especially the younger generation, to get up in there and get up in these positions, so that the next time we have a black president, he has some assistance.
Facts. So, what was this other topic? I done forgot about that. We got 13 minutes. I know it was
Oh,
good.
yes, the topic that we kind of fell into about marriage, and like, there's a lot of talk these days
Oh yeah, marriage. Yeah.
of men, saying that they want their women to be softer, more submissive, and they want their women to submit to them. And it's like, okay, so say I have so much feeling in this because they like to reference back in the days, back when our grandmothers was married and this, that, and the other. And when you think about history and women's history in general, and then you get into African American women history, um, do you really think a lot of people stayed together for love, or did they stay together because they had to? Because literally in my lifetime, women received the right to get a bank account. They didn't
Hmm.
even have a right to a bank account. And this is within my lifetime.
It's
I'm
crazy.
still alive. This is within my lifetime. Women was not allowed to have businesses. They was not allowed to have bank accounts. It was designed so that we had to have a husband to survive. And a lot of women stayed in abusive relationships, crazy relationships, just because. What else are they going to do? They couldn't go out on their own. So you praising this thing, but it was out of survival for a lot of women. Not saying everyone, not saying everyone. Some people, was in it for love or whatever. But for a lot of people, it was about survival.
Hmm.
You know.
Facts.
So
Straight.
so you talk about you want your now we don't have to rely on you for survival. So now it has to be more than that there, more than just you providing. It's, especially if you're someone who's been providing for themselves for a period of time. So now it's not about survival. It's not about you providing. Yes, you should have, I have. Now how we gonna merge these things together? Why does
Facts.
it have to be that I have to give my stuff up to relinquish to you? And then you got the flip side. Let's say, your grandparents, they were together for love. It was all about the love. Straight out of college or high school, they got married, had their children, beautiful life, right? Now the children, say most of the children are out of the house. You might have one or two left or whatever. Now your spouse dies. Your husband passes away. You have no work skills because you've been a stay-at-home mom. Nobody's gonna hire you because you're of a certain age.
Mhm. Plus,
What
you
do
have a
you do?
schedule.
Plus you have a schedule because you still got the last two kids in the house. What do you do? There's a woman on TikTok where for the first time in her life, and she had a great life with her husband, but he passed away. There wasn't much left to her. So now she's on public assistance trying to figure out her life at 50 something years old.
That's like that Delta story I told you. You think like, and if you're a pilot for Delta, we all know you got a good life. Guy had 7 kids, used to golf with him. He died in a crash. It was on Fox 5. Everybody knows what we're talking about living here in Atlanta. And the wife, because it was the husband's fault, got nothing. It was the
See?
pilot's fault. It was his fault. So he wasn't covered. The pilot's organization helped out. She got a GoFundMe, and she was 50 plus years old with 7 kids. Whether they're older or younger doesn't matter. And life is over. But like we were talking behind the break, in today's world, if you're a stay at home mom or a stay at home dad, doesn't matter which one you are, and you just stay at home and do housework and take care of kids, you're not valuing your life. You have to know what your worth is. It doesn't mean that you can't, like, think about what your husband or wife does. Find a skill that you can help them with their skill that you like to do. Contribute to the house. Just don't sit there and do housework and take care of the kids because it's not an all day job. I've done it. It's not.
Right, right. And not to take anything away from any housewife out there. If that's what you choose to do, that's what you choose to do. I just don't think that women should be belittled because they choose not to do that.
Hmm.
And there's good reason to choose not to do that. For one, the most of the men that's hollering that they want a submissive woman like their grandmother, they are not the men of the caliber of their grandfather. So you want me to be like your grandmother, but you are not the caliber of man of your grandfather for me to
Yeah.
be able to relinquish my life to you.
Facts. Big, big
You are
facts.
not on the same caliber as that man. Half of the time they can't even take care of themselves, but you want me to wait for you to figure it out to take care of me.
Hmm.
Figure you out first. Especially if you come into the thing like, sorry, y'all got the women that have businesses and have things going on and this that all other. Sorry, your ego can't handle the fact that your woman got shit going on. If you can't handle a woman that got shit going on, then don't approach that woman.
Hmm.
But don't try to make that woman feel bad for taking care of herself.
I like what you said about if you see, like you say, you want somebody's grandma's love or somebody's woman's love, something like that, and you're not that man that that woman's giving that love to. You're not even there. You're like an outsider, man. You need to get your guys. You need to step your game up. Same with ladies. Ladies, if you want that way that that one man treats that woman, you want to be treated like a queen, and
Right?
you
You
ain't
want that man to be the provider and this, that, and the other, then you can't be a bitch to that man and then expect him to provide for you.
facts. You got 5 minutes. I'll let you have it.
It's like, where do they do that at? Where do they do that at? You have to be kind. You have to be respectful. You know, uh, Men, they go out into the world and there is a lot of things that they face on a daily basis. And yes, they should not have to come home to craziness. But men, sometimes you create your craziness. So if you do not want to come home to craziness, then make sure that you the type of man that's not bringing the crazy into the home. Because if you coming home and your wife is talking about how you're talking to other women or this and the other, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. If you and your wife work and she come home and she deals with the kids and deal with the cooking and you're not doing anything but sitting watching TV and drinking a beer, that's all well and good. But we both worked today. You could help with something. Help with something. Make sure the kids leave me alone while I'm cooking dinner. Something. We are not in 1950 something anymore. We're not there anymore. And we're not going to be there again. So everybody just needs to get on board, get your life. Women, stop talking with, oh, you gotta get my hair done. And what was you doing before you got to this man? Why is your main priority is to have a man get your hair done? Y'all ain't got something else that y'all could do, that y'all could build something together, because getting your hair done, that's not building a life together. How about let's get some money up and get some property? How about let's get some money up and start a business? Because I've been getting my hair and my nails done. I don't know. That's just I'm ranting. I'm ranting. But in me, in my life, I want somebody that I could build something with. I'm not looking for you to get my hair and nails done. It's already done. Now what we doing? Now what is this relationship based on? I'd rather have love, loyalty, respect. Um, that's just the basic foundation. Love, loyalty, and respect. Respect me as a person. I respect you as a person. I will respect you as my significant other. I will be loyal to you, loyal to this relationship. And like, that's it. Let's just build. Let's just build from there. Why does it have to be a power trip all the time? We're supposed to be in this thing together. Even if I am a housewife, we still partners. We're in this thing together. I'm holding down the house so you can hold down the job. That's still 50-50 in my eyes. I'm holding this down so that you can hold us down out there. But respect me for what I'm doing. Because if I wasn't here and you was left with these kids in this house and to work, which don't get me started because a lot of single mothers do that. But it's hard. It's hard. So respect me that I'm here and I'm doing this and I'm helping keeping the family together, just like you're helping keeping the family together financially. One is not bigger than the other. One is not better than the other. So, with that being said, desire to inspire before you expire. Thank you for tuning in. We had to do it podcast. And you know what, motherfuckers, I'm out.